Why retirement suddenly feels unsafe, even if you saved enough. Let me ask you something, and don't answer out loud, just answer it honestly. Do you feel like you should feel more secure right now? But you don't. Because on paper, things look fine. The economy isn't crashing, the markets are still high, Social Security even got a raise, and yet something feels off. Grocery bills don't make sense anymore, insurance feels heavier every year, healthcare costs feel unpredictable, and retirement, that thing that was supposed to feel calm, feels tighter instead. Here's the part most people don't realize. Retirement didn't suddenly get risky, it quietly changed. And 2026 isn't about one big event. It's about a series of small pressures lining up at the same time, and none of them dramatic on their own, but together powerful enough to change how retirement works. This video is not about fear, it's about awareness. Because once you see what's happening beneath the surface, you'll understand why so many people feel uneasy, even when the headlines say everything is fine. Every generation retires into a different world. The rules your parents retired under are not the rules you're retiring under. And that disconnect, that subtle mismatch between expectations and reality is where most retirement stress actually comes from. Most people think risk shows up loudly, but in retirement, risk usually shows up quietly. It shows up as hesitation, a second guessing, as a nagging feeling that you should be more comfortable than you are. What's the one thing about your finances today that feels less predictable than it used to? You've probably heard this phrase, inflation is coming down, and technically that's true. But retirees don't live inside statistics. They live inside receipts. Here's the key shift most people miss. Inflation isn't an event, it's a process. Which expense in your life feels like it permanently crossed a line and never came back? For a brief moment, retirees got something rare. Safe money that actually paid you something meaningful. 5% on cash felt like relief. It felt like sustainability had returned. But now rates are coming down while prices stay high. That's a dangerous combination because when safe money stops keeping up, people feel pressure. Not to be reckless, but to reach. If your safest money stops doing its job, where does the income come from next? Market volatility is uncomfortable when you're working. It's dangerous when you're retired, not because markets are broken, but because withdrawals don't wait. When losses happen early in retirement, time can't always fix them. Markets have time. Retirees don't. This is why two people with the same portfolio can have completely different outcomes based on timing alone. If markets were choppy for the next 5 years, would your income still feel steady? Social Security isn't disappearing, but expectations matter. When people mentally lean too hard on one source of income, even small changes feel massive. The danger isn't that Social Security fails, the danger is building a plan that can't flex. If your benefit covers less than you expect, do you know what fills the gap? This is the topic most people avoid, not because it's unlikely, but because it's uncomfortable. Long-term care doesn't ruin plans overnight. It erodes them slowly. And the hardest part, it usually shows up at the exact moment flexibility is lowest. If care was needed for a few years, do you know where that money would come from? None of these issues are catastrophic on their own, but together they explain why retirement feels different. It's not fear, it's awareness. You're not doing anything wrong. You're noticing the landscape has changed. In the next video, I'm going to show you how people are quietly adjusting without panic, without guessing, and without chasing headlines. If you want clarity instead of noise, click the next video on your screen, because seeing the risk is one step. Knowing how to respond is what actually creates peace.